Here's the latest. Senate Republicans preparing to vote for a new majority leader. Senators Rick Scott, John Cornyn, and John Thune all vying for the job. Control of the House still up for grabs with 18 races yet to be called almost a week out from the presidential election. The GOP currently maintaining its lead with 214 seats. Henrietta Treyz of Veda Partners writing, should Republicans take the House in the days ahead, they will secure the ability to enact a fiscal year budget and unlock the reconciliation authority needed to pass legislation with 218 votes in the House and a 51 in the Senate. Henrietta joins us now. Henrietta, before we get into the Senate, I want to start in the House because we still don't know the makeup exactly, but the Republicans do seem poised to take control. There is one hiccup. We have overnight that Elise Stefanik, the Congresswoman of New York, likely will be joining the administration. She was nominated to be the new UN ambassador. So now the Republicans are going to have to, what, get another Republican in that seat? How hard is that going to be?
Yeah, they need a couple of Republicans on the House side, and then I expect quite a bit of changeover on the Senate side as well, with key senators going up to the White House, whether that's Bill Hagerty or Marsha Blackburn, Marco Rubio. Obviously, J.D. Vance is already going as well. So there's going to be a lot of state-level decision-making to put more Republicans in those seats, new freshman Republicans, for those races on the House and Senate side.
You say the Republicans can also theoretically use reconciliation twice next year. How could they do that?
Right. So the whole process walks through the budget reconciliation instruction. They have 2 fiscal years to work with, 2025, since next year will be in 2025, and we do not have a budget enacted for that year. And then also 2026, which will start right after we finish 2025 and whatever reconciliation bill they end up passing. This is the exact same playbook that we ran in 2017, where you had reconciliation available for healthcare under the fiscal year 16 budget and then taxes under fiscal year 17 budget.
Even so, 2017, Henrietta, was a good example that even if you have a majority, it doesn't mean that you have control. You had infighting amongst the Republicans that meant certain legislation of Trump that he wanted couldn't be passed. Do you understand the willpower and the cohesion of Republicans this time around to pass Trump's top priorities?
Yeah, and Emory started with the House, and I think that's really smart. The majority that Republicans are going to be operating with in the House is going to be as few as 2 seats. 220 seats now look relatively safe. That's a bare minimum. That's even worse than the majority they have now. And we've seen the struggle that Speaker Johnson has gone through just to keep the government open. So passing this tax bill next year, there's a sense on the street that this is all going to happen quickly. It's going to be easy. Everybody's going to come together. We're talking $1.2 trillion from coastal states via the SALT deduction. That is the path that Republicans have to the majority in the House. It goes straight through California and New York. So you're going to immediately upset that apple cart. And then you have another, roughly $1 trillion coming from repealing the green energy tax credits. 70% of that funding is going to red states and job creation in those districts. That's going to be really hard for lawmakers to enact next year. I expect that they will tether it to the debt ceiling, which is also something you can do via reconciliation. And that's maybe the best way to pull forward the bill. They pass it in July when the debt ceiling comes due. But otherwise, it's going to take all the way until December. And tariffs will be on very quickly, I'm expecting.
Henrietta, good morning. There's multiple things to trip over next year, which is going to make it a difficult year. Part of the debate this morning around the desk is to whether Robert Lighthizer makes a comeback. The FT says yes, Reuters says no. So there's a lot of debate. The betting markets has it a low-pegged risk. Scott Bessent as Treasury. What is the most aggressive underestimated thing in the in market perspective? Is it that Lighthizer comes back at Treasury, or Lighthizer comes back as Treyz are?
Yeah, I think Treyz is more realistic. I don't see Ambassador Lighthizer being a Treasury Secretary. Scott Bessent is obviously traveling the street to try to get that job now, and I expect he would be more likely, especially in a confirmable Senate seat. The benefit for Lighthizer in being some sort of elusive or roving Treyz is that he could oversee the expansion that's gone on at USTR and the Department of Commerce, which has a tremendous amount of authority over tariffs. So I expect Lighthizer to be something in the sort of upper echelon, but not necessarily a cabinet post, something new that would really speak to how critical tariffs are as a part of the president-elect's foreign policy, domestic revenue, and trade policy agenda. I mean, this is if anything was a referendum this election cycle, is that Americans are supportive of Trump's agenda on tariffs. And I think Bob Lighthizer is the most competent person to run that strategy. So immediately calling China out in violation of the phase one trade deal that they negotiated in 2020 is the first thing I think will happen. And I don't think anybody should sleep on the potential for EU auto tariffs in the end of March.